Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Today we have an ultra-realistic colorized photograph of Alvin York, one of America's greatest heroes of World War I, this image shows. York leading 6 captured German soldiers out of the Argonne Forest in 1918 after he single-handedly took out an entire machine gun nest of 20 German soldiers. A truly amazing feat of arms. So without further ado, let's dive into today's video. Private First Class Alvin York was born in 1894 in a small Tennessee town. York was a farmer and a man of the church who never desired to be a soldier. However, when America entered World War I in 1917, he enlisted in the U.S. Army. After basic training, he was sent overseas to France. There he joined the 326th Infantry Regiment of the 82nd Division. In September 1918, while fighting in the Argonne Forest, York's unit was pinned down by heavy enemy fire. They had taken heavy casualties and were unable to advance. It was then that York took matters into his own hands. With a few comrades, he set out to find the source of the German fire so they could eliminate it. After creeping through the underbrush for some time, York and his group finally located the German machine gun nest. At this point, York's comrades opened fire on the nest. But to their surprise, the bullets were literally bouncing off the thing like it was made out of concrete. The bullets were just not penetrating the thing at all. So York immediately realized that they needed to get closer. York then signaled for his comrades to hold their fire, while he slowly and silently crept closer to the machine gun nest. As he got closer, he began taking out the German soldiers one by one with his rifle. As he was doing this, the other guys saw him and they started shouting out to him, "Hey, Alvin, over here, Alvin." And he would just motion for them to stay quiet. He didn't want to give away his position. He continued to take out the Germans until only one soldier remained. This last German soldier started yelling at York, saying things like, don't shoot, I'm a prisoner, I'm a prisoner." But York was not taking any chances. He kept his rifle pointed at the German until he surrendered. With the machine gun nest now neutralized, York and his comrades were able to advance and take the rest of the German positions. When it was all said and done, York had taken out over 20 German soldiers single-handedly. To say that he was exhausted by this point would be an understatement. In fact, he would later say that if he had been given the choice, he would have preferred to die rather than go through that again. But even though he was exhausted, York still had one more incredible feat left in him. After taking out the machine gun nest, York and his unit came across a group of around 100 German soldiers who were trying to escape. Being outnumbered almost 5-1, York's unit opened fire and took out many of the Germans. However, there were still around 20 left who were trying to flee into the forest. At this point, York told his comrades to hold their fire so that these men could escape. He wanted to conserve ammunition and felt that there was no need to kill these already defeated soldiers. Although this decision was met with some resistance from his comrades, York stood firm. He believed that it was the right thing to do. As the Germans fled into the forest, York chased after them, yelling, "Come on, you bums, get out of here." He wanted to make sure that none of them were hiding in the forest and planning to ambush his unit. He chased them all the way to a river where they surrendered. York then gathered all of the German soldiers together and forced them to march out of the forest towards their American lines. He did not allow them to carry any weapons or ammunition with them. That way, if they tried anything funny, his men could open fire on them and kill them instantly. The entire time, York kept a close eye on the Germans. He knew that they were dangerous, and he wasn't taking any chances. Despite being exhausted, hungry, and thirsty himself, York refused to let anyone help him, and instead insisted that they follow him. He led them for about 3 hours until they reached his unit's supply train. It was at this point that York finally allowed the Germans to rest. He gave them water and food and even helped to bandage some of their wounds. He also questioned them about their unit and their officers, gathering intelligence for his own unit. York's actions during this battle were nothing short of heroic. He single-handedly took out an entire machine gun nest of 20 German soldiers and then led over 100 prisoners of war to safety. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions and became one of America's greatest heroes of World War I. Alvin York was a true American hero. His bravery and determination in the face of the enemy were instrumental in securing victory for his unit. He was a humble man who did not seek out recognition, but his actions could not be ignored. York's story is a reminder that one person can make a difference. and that courage is always rewarded. Now, before we move on to our image, I just want to say a big thank you to a supporter for making this project possible. If it wasn't for their generous support, I wouldn't be able to create these videos for you all to enjoy. So thank you so much. And now, without further ado, let's dive into the image itself. What I really wanted to capture in this piece was the sheer determination and exhaustion that must have been present on York's face during this battle. You can see in his eyes the weight of the battle that he has just fought. He is a man who has seen hell and come out the other side. The reflection of the battle is seen in his eyes, but it is also seen in the eyes of the German soldiers that he is leading. They are tired, defeated, and broken. They have lost the will to fight and have surrendered to York and his unit. Another thing that I wanted to capture in this image was the sense of place. The Argonne Forest is a dark and brooding place, and I wanted to reflect that in the image. The mud, the smoke, and the darkness all contribute to this sense of place. It is clear that this is not a place of beauty, but rather a place of war and destruction. I also wanted to capture the sense of foreboding in the image. This is a moment of uncertainty and danger. York and his unit have just taken heavy casualties, and they do know what is around the corner. The fog and the smoke add to this sense of foreboding, creating an image that is both suspenseful and dramatic. Finally, I wanted to capture the humanity of the situation. These are real people caught in a terrible conflict. York is not just a hero. He is a real person with real emotions. He is tired, hungry, and thirsty, but he puts his own needs aside to help others. The German soldiers are not just enemies, they are human beings who have surrendered and are now at the mercy of York and his unit. This image is not just a historical document, it is a work of art. It is a powerful reminder of the cost of war and the importance of peace. I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned something new about Alvin York and his incredible actions during World War I. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe so that you never miss an upload. I would also like to take a moment to say a special thank you to my supporters for their generous support. If you would like to support the channel, please check out the links below. Thank you. That's all for this video, folks. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and stay tuned. Thank you for watching.